everyone, welcome. I want to talk to you about 5 different ways in which you can overcome your personality problems. So this video is mostly for people who have been following my series on how you became you. And they know about bioenergetics, Alexander Lowen's bioenergetics, and they know how personalities are formed and how a trauma creates a separation in the subconscious that we then often use to view problems that come up through. And so this can lead to problems sometimes. And from that series, I have gotten a lot of questions about how do you best overcome these problem areas that can arise due to a personality structure. I have 5 ways. The first is a physical way. How do you physically overcome your personality problems? Well, you can actually. If you go to a bioenergetics therapist, one of the key things that you will be working on is the body, because the body and the mind are united. And so if you're working on the body, you can actually experience some effects in the mind and vice versa as well. So very often a bioenergetics therapist will start working on physical exercises, and these will be tailored to you. But there is one exercise that actually all of the different structures, there are 5 basic personality structures, all of them could sometimes greatly benefit and others could benefit from them. And that is grounding. The idea of physically feeling grounded, stable on your feet. So what you would do is stand up, make sure that all of your joints are a little bit flexed, relaxed, so you're not locking anything, you're relaxing so that you can feel. And try to feel the ground beneath your feet. Actually focus on feeling the ground. If you have shoes, take them off so that you can feel what the contact with the ground is as you're standing. What does it feel like? Where do you have your weight? Do you feel throughout all of your foot? Or are there areas that are really not touching the ground? Feel that. Then take a tennis ball. Now take one of your feet and place it on top of the tennis ball. And then massage with using your body weight, putting your body weight on top of the ball, and massage from the toes all the way to the end of your foot, right, to the heel. And if there are areas where it kind of hurts a little bit, focus more on those areas so that you can relax the foot. And then in the end, just roll the ball back and forth underneath the foot. And then stand on both of your feet again and feel. What do you feel? Do you feel the difference? And how far up do you feel the difference? Is it just in your foot? Or can you feel it up your leg? Maybe even up throughout the whole side of your body. What does it feel like? And notice how much of the ground you are touching now, how much you can feel. And then do the same thing on the other foot, the massage in the different areas, rolling it, and then stand on your legs, on your feet, touching your ground underneath you. And with your joints slightly relaxed, slightly flexed so that you can feel very well. And just feel the energy coming from the ground up. Just imagine feeling that. Just imagine feeling the stability of earth. These kinds of exercises are some of the essential ones that we use in bioenergetics when it comes to physical exercises. And this is one that every structure will need. So this is something practical that you can do that will actually help you, because that will bring you more to the present moment instead of going off to your trauma that you had in the past and going off on that tangent and interpreting through that tangent. No, you're here physically, grounded, stable, and present to be here now with whatever is going on. So that's number one, the physical body. Number two, that's the mental. So it's interesting to be able to work with the mental part as well, because this means that you start to understand how it is that you are the way you are. Your personality is the way it is. Why do I always react this way in these situations? Nobody else gets sad when this happens, but I get sad. Why? Oh, it's because of this and that, right? Why in other situations do I always repeat the same patterns and I never get out of them? It doesn't seem to be my fault, but somehow I do that. So all of that will start to become clear to you. How can you learn about these things? Well, for one, you have the 5-part video series with some extra videos below it as well. This is my playlist of how you became you. That will help you with this. And if you want to go deeper, I have a course on Udemy. It's called Bioenergetics, how and why you became the way you are. So this is an extended version of those videos, where we go deeper into each structure, and when we look at everything, how the body becomes, what happens, how the energy flows in that person, where there are energy blockages in each personality structure, and how the structures work on top of each other sometimes. All of that, we go into this in the Udemy course, so you can check that out if you want to learn more about that. If you want to go even deeper, there are many books by, especially Alexander Lowen, the creator of this. There are some books by Wilhelm Reich that are also interesting, and so you can study more about it so that you know how this works. And so when you know that this is just a mechanism in me, then look, it becomes something other than you, and then you no longer have to identify with it. And when you don't identify with it, you are free to make another choice. So you're free to choose another reaction to a situation, because this isn't just a part of you, this is something, that is outside of you. It's a mechanism that you have been using, and you can use it or not. So you get this option. So this is the second part, the mental. The third part is emotional. You can work with your emotions, and this is really insightful in a way, because you will notice that every negative emotion that you have, if you're frustrated, if you're angry, if you're depressed, if you're sad, whatever it is that comes up for you, most of the time is something that is not related to what is going on right now. It's actually something that you're viewing from the point of view of your trauma. So you see something, you get an input, and you say, let's run my trauma program where I get upset. Boom, 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 and you're in your program instead of being here now, responding to an actual situation. You think you're responding to a situation. You think that the situation made you respond in that way, but actually it triggered you, to just go back and do a rerun of your old problems instead of being present. And so I have a video that talks about this. If you haven't seen it, it's called replay mode. Are you in replay mode? And it talks to you about how this happens. And so what you can do is, the first thing that is, the moment that you realize this, it becomes really powerful, because whenever you have a negative emotion and you see the mechanism behind what is going on, again, you don't have to run it again, the same problem. So you have the mental part of understanding how things work, and then you have the emotional part that whenever the emotions come up, you can work with them. So check that video out. It will be helpful for learning how to work on your emotions and really getting that insight. Wow, I didn't realize that almost every time something bad happens emotionally, I'm just rerunning my old stuff. I'm not here. I'm not present. So that's the third way. Now the fourth way has to do with the subconscious. So you might know that every trauma, especially the developmental traumas, they create a separation in your subconscious. The developmental traumas create a large separation that then becomes the structure through which you have your personality express itself. And this separation means that there are two things, two polarities that are not united. And so that means either this or that, but not both at the same time. Usually this is not true. You can have both, and actually very often you want to have both at the same time, but your subconscious has separated them. So once you learn which separations you have in your personality, you can start on reuniting them. And here you can have a hypnotherapist, for instance, help you. And so if you have access to a hypnotherapist, you can talk to them about this and ask them to help you reunite these things that have been separated in your subconscious. And of course, in the second step, if you understand how your personality has been formed, then you will know which separations you have. And so you can focus on that. And to help people with that aspect, I have also created meditations, guided meditations that are targeted for each of the 5 different structures. So you lay down, relax deeply, and just listen to the guided meditation. It also has a binaural beat, helping you to go deeper into the theta state, where hypnosis happens and where you can work with the subconscious more directly. And it helps to reunite the parts that have been separated. So that's the fourth way, trying to find a way in which you can work directly with the subconscious and with the separations in the subconscious. Now, number 5. Number 5 is very interesting, because number 5 is the spiritual path. It's the path of identity. It's the path where you focus on you. When you focus and identify with who you really are, then you let go of all those personalities. And who are you? Well, you are the experiencer. You are the awareness that is able to have these experiences. So the more you identify with the pure awareness, And the less you identify with your body mind, with your particular personality, when you stop identifying as a person, you're not a person, you are awareness. When you can feel that and agree with that, the more you go on this path, the more you will give up relating to the problems of the personality and acting from the fears of the personalities. This is the path of enlightenment, and a person who has reached the final goal will be a totally fearless person. Have no fear at all of anything. But it's not being a person and then having no fear. There's a path on the way where you have less and less and less fears. When you become freer and freer, where you feel peace, presence more and more. And this also leads you to be able to be present in the moment and not look through the different structures and the different traumas that cause them. So this is the fifth way. How can you work on that? How can you stop identifying as a person? You can practice. You can meditate. And you can check in with yourself. Am I really this body or not? Well, who's aware of who? Am I aware of the body, or is the body aware of me? No. I'm aware of the body. Okay, so I have a body. I'm not a body. Okay. And then you continue and you go deeper. Well, what about my thoughts? Right? I can identify with them. But again, you perceive them. And the thought comes in and disappears while you persist. So this way you go deeper and deeper. So you end up feeling that you are awareness. But everything that describes this awareness will fall away as a thing that you notice. And the more time you spend in that awareness, the less you will identify with your personality. So, if you're interested in exploring this, I actually recently wrote and drew a book that's based on non-duality. And I also have a video that you might enjoy. The video is about the practical approach of finding your soul. And it talks about this process and how to do this. And the book is called Non-Duality Illustrated: Metaphors to Unlock the Bridge to the Formless. And this is a book of 58 existential questions. And the answers come as a picture. And also it's written out, the answer is also written out. And all of this is based on Advaita Vedanta, non-duality. So you may enjoy this. This may help you along that fifth path. Okay, so I hope this was helpful to you. Thank you for tuning in, and I'll see you in another video.